Alright, guys, we're finally going to be talking about CIA, the TV show, for the review and how the finale went. So, hopefully, you guys have been watching. If you haven't watched, you can watch it on Paramount Plus, you can watch it on YouTube TV or CBS, whatever you want to do, and however you watch your programs. But going into this show is where you got Tom Ellis, who plays Colin, who's a CIA operative. He meets Bill, who's an FBI agent, and both of their sectors they want to combine because they think that these two would probably be good for partnership, and they start working together. Bill is by the book, he goes by the law, he goes by everything. Colin, he thinks outside the box, he can be a smart aleck sometimes, he can also be very like how he normally is. You know how Tom Ellis is able to do a very good role. Because again, if you watch Lucifer, you know how he can do it. Now, again, I will say this: you can see a lot of traits of how he still kind of does Lucifer in this show, but he really tones it down because obviously this is a different character. This is not the Lucifer character and the persona that we all know and love from him. And again, I love that show for Lucifer, but again, you can still see it, hints of it, like you can with actors when they played characters for so long. But throughout the entirety of the story, you have the normal trying to figure it out of different episodes of like, oh, this is what's happening, this is what's happening. But the main source of the show was trying to figure out if there was a mole in the CIA, and there was, and trying to figure out who it is. And I honestly thought it was Colin, but we find out that it's not Colin, and he's also trying to figure out who it is, and was it behind the death of his partner that he was also in a relationship with, Tony. And at first, I thought it was either Colin or Nikki. Again, I don't fully trust Nikki, who is the head of that sector, because again of how she is and very secretive and everything of that nature. Again, she's been doing this for so long, but at the same time, I'm like, could it be her? But then we later find out who it is, and it was one of the smart guys. Again, it was one of the ones that was from another country. So again, it was kind of like, oh, shocker, like it was kind of predictable to a certain degree, but at the same time it wasn't. So I will give him credit where credit's due on that. And then of course we figure out that Tony is alive, that her death was a setup. She never died. She was working for another company, but she went rogue. She was taking out operatives in another company that was selling to the highest bidder for information to the enemies of the United States, and among others. And we even see how when Colin figures out that she's alive, it really messes with his head, because again, he was in a relationship with another woman that he was using to get information out of because of where she worked. And again, the way that the episode ended was pretty much that Tony gets captured and that she's going to be put back in the field, and Colin's going to have all kinds of ways about that, because again, he loved this woman, he was with her, he was trying to figure out, get justice for her killer. And the other person that was part of their team, they went rogue as well. So again, it's like Colin's probably in a very standoff of like, okay, what do I do? Like, what do I do as an operative? What do I do as a man? Because his mentor went rogue for a little bit, and he was still doing good, but he just needed help. Then, of course, Tony, she went rogue. The one that was his other friend, he went rogue for all the different reasons, and now he's kind of like wondering, okay, what's the fine line between right and wrong? And I will give credit where credit's due. Again, most of these shows that is made by Dick Wolf or created by Dick Wolf, the same one did Law and Order, a whole bunch of others, it's always the same thing over and over again. Now, again, is this show like a must-see show? I would say no, like I've been saying. It's one of those where some of the episodes are good, and then some of the episodes are kind of boring, or some of the acting is lacklustering, and I don't blame certain characters or actors for that. I blame more of the writing, I blame more of the direction, because it's like we've already seen a story very similar to this, or we've seen something, whatever, to this. So I think that it can grow. It is getting a season 2. I think if they got a better direction, then I think the show could grow to be very unique with on its own. And I'm not one of those ones that I actually watch a lot of crime shows, because 9 times out of 10 when I watch a crime show, and depending on what it is, it will last maybe a season or two and then it goes away. And I hate when that happens, because when you get invested. But overall, I think that CIA as a show really shows the difference and the possibilities of what these operatives go through, and also what they have to do to just go way under deep cover, and also show who they are at the end of the day, that they're still a human being, that they still have flaws, that they have a lot of decisions, a lot of secrets, and they can't tell their family. It's hard to even tell who's friend and enemy anymore, and also of who they can actually trust. So again, I think if anyone has never seen this show, to at least give it a shot. And if you've seen shows by Dick Wolf, definitely check this out. And you may like it, you may dislike it, I don't know, but overall, I think it's one of those shows where you can give it a shot, but I don't think it's one of those shows where you have to see episode by episode. I did that so that way I could keep up, that way I wouldn't fall behind. I think at one point I did fall behind. I was behind like 2 episodes, and it didn't take me long to catch up because, again, I had Paramount Plus. So I think for anyone that has never seen this show, watch it on Paramount Plus, watch it on YouTube TV. That's probably going to be the easiest way to watch it. But overall, I think that the show is something unique and different, and give it a shot, But if you guys have seen CIA, let me know. If you guys haven't, let me know. But either way, what was your overall point of the season? I think the whole thing that really got me interested was the whole thing with Tony and Colin. That's what probably really grew my interest and really showed us more of the character Colin. And with Bill, I still am trying to get used to him. There's times where he does have a point, and there's times he doesn't. So I'm kind of wondering if they're going to have his character grow even more now with the things he went through this season, especially running into a former student friend of his that he went to college with, and then also now working with Colin, seeing what Colin's been through, and seeing what this agency has been through, and seeing where they go further into the story. So let me know what you guys think about that in the comments, and I'll see you as always on the next one.